Hey there, new player. What do I hear? Do you want to be a heavy main? Well, this video is for you. In this guide made by a real heavy main, we will discuss things you need to know about the class, your loadouts, your role in the team, offense, defense, tips for fighting. First, let's discuss the heavy himself. He is classified as a defense class by the game and as a power class by the community. Heavy comes armed with a minigun, a shotgun, and his bare hands as his default loadout. Heavy is without a doubt one of the more new player-friendly classes to pick up when playing. Just playing Heavy for a couple of rounds will give you an idea of the class's role. Heavy is arguably the most dangerous class in the game, with a powerful minigun and a maximum of 300 health, which can be boosted to 450 when overhealed. To counteract this, however, Valve made the Heavy the slowest class in the game, with only 77% movement speed. The Heavy's minigun boasts monstrous close-range damage, capable of dealing around 504 damage per second, some of the highest DPS in the game. But don't try sniping with it. At long range, the minigun's accuracy plummets due to bullet spread and damage fall-off, reducing each bullet's impact to as low as 3 damage. New players often make this mistake, but it's crucial to remember. You're not a sniper. Long-range minigun fire is ineffective and just makes you an easy target for actual snipers. Next, let's discuss your loadouts. Let's start with primary weapons. The stock minigun and the Tomislav are the best choices as they can be relied on in 90% of scenarios. The Tomislav is more suited for offense, whereas stock is for defense. Since you are a new player, I suggest sticking with stock, since it is the default gun, and I recommend getting used to it first, before choosing another gun. Now, let's move on to secondaries. The heavy... Wait, what is that noise? Anyway, as I was saying, the Heavy's best secondary is the Sandwich. Left-click to heal yourself for 300 health, right-click to drop it as a medium health pack for teammates, or enemies. Be strategic where you drop it, as enemies can pick it up too. The Sandwich has a 30-second cooldown, replenished by walking over any health pack at max health. You can even upgrade small health packs by recharging your Sandwich and dropping it, effectively turning a small pack into a medium one. Now, your melee. As a Heavy, your melee is not as important to you as it is to a class like Spy or Engineer. I do recommend the Fists of Steel. These fists block 40% of all ranged attacks, including critical hits and headshots. You can use the Fists of Steel to pass sniper sight lines to lower the risk of dying to a headshot. As downsides, this weapon takes longer to holster, meaning it will take more time to pull out your minigun or Sandwich. But you can negate this by cycling through your other weapons and then switching to the weapon you want to. But the main downside is that you take 100% more damage from melee attacks, so watch out for demonites or enemies using their melee weapons before pulling these out. So now you may be wondering, what am I supposed to do as a Heavy? Well, the Heavy has 2 main jobs depending on if he's on offense or defense. On offense, Heavy's job is to smash through the enemy strongholds. Heavy's high health and damage output allows him to take down large groups of enemies and destroy engineer buildings. With a medic, Heavy becomes even more powerful thanks to Ubercharge and Overheal. On defense, Heavy's job is area denial. Heavy mows down the enemy forces and acts as a wall to repel and block enemy pushes. He does this by killing key members of the enemy's offense, like soldiers, demo men, and other Heavies. Target priority is a very crucial part of Heavy gameplay. You should always be paying close attention to the enemy team. The information you gather can help you decide which target to focus on and make split-second decisions, like deciding who to focus fire during large-scale team fights. Finally, it's time to move on to the fun part, fighting. Although heavy may seem like the rev gun and shoot class, there are still tips you need to remember to maximize your effectiveness and contributions to your team. For instance, although heavy is the most beefy class in the game, he can still be overwhelmed. When fighting, I recommend not taking on fights with more than 2 people. You should also utilize cover, such as crouching behind a box, so most of your body is covered. This makes it so enemies don't have more room to hit you. You should also take advantage of strange movement patterns, such as weird strafing and crouching, to throw off your enemy and make it harder for them to hit you. This is especially useful against other heavies, since they rely the most on tracking their opponents. Another thing you should do is pick a single person to shoot at instead of spraying your gun like a madman. During chaotic team fights, I recommend doing a quick survey to determine several key enemies, like healers, and those doing the most harm to your team, and firing upon them. If your target escapes, do not chase after them. Instead, move on to another target and let your team finish them off. Well, there you have it, a basic guide on the heavy weapons guy. I hope you found this useful. Now, go out there and give the other team a taste of Russian muscle. Farewell, and please subscribe, like, and turn on that bell icon so you do not miss future uploads.